Hey, I'm Ruth Werner, and I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity that Massage and Bodywork have given me to provide a little sort of extra outside supportive information for my article on TMJ Disorders and intraoral work that is in Massage and Bodywork magazine. So to do this, to get the most out of this little interaction that we're going to have together, I'd like to invite you to join me in taking a bite of something that is both crispy and chewy. And I'm going to be using this little piece of celery. So you ready? Here we go. Okay. So this celery has been around for a little while, not super crisp. Plenty chewy. As you chew on whatever you're chewing on, pay attention to the action of your jaw. What was it like when you took your initial bite? Where was your jaw? What happens as you try to move that food around in your mouth? Does the force of your chewing change as the food gets softer? And where did your jaw go when you swallowed? That's amazing. Your temporomandibular joints have a surprisingly huge range of motion, and they allow movement in several planes. So we can go up and down, that's elevation and depression. We can also go forward and back. So this is protraction, and this is retraction. And of course, we go side to side while we're grinding on our celery or whatever else it is that we might be eating. And of course, it can do all of those things all together in a smooth movement. And they do, these joints do this by moving only one bone. Only the mandible moves, of course, because the temporal bones don't move during these actions. And another really fascinating thing about the TMJ is it has to do everything twice at the same time, because you cannot move one jaw side without moving your other side. Although, I'm sure you're aware, lots of people don't work symmetrically, so they'll chew more on one side than the other because it feels stronger or it hurts on the other side or whatever. But both sides are moving all the time. In the article, I get into some of the details about what happens when the structures that surround the joint, like the muscles, the masseter muscle, the temporalis, the pterygoids on the inside, when they have some dysfunction, when they get hypertonic or they develop trigger points, they can create a lot of pain. They can refer pain all over the head. They can trigger headaches and migraines. We also see symptoms being elicited by tightness and hypertonicity in some of the muscles of the neck. People talk about the sternocleidomastoid being a contributor to TMJ pain, but also some of the postural muscles in the back of the neck and the back of the head. So, all of that's super pertinent to our work because these are things that we can access. And then, of course, we need to consider that there are structures inside the joint that break down. The one that's probably the most vulnerable is a little meniscus. It's a slip of cartilage that helps the mandible to track correctly within this great big range of motion. And that little piece of cartilage can break down. It can tear. It can get lodged, it can be dysfunctional. Then we have the possibility also of the articular cartilage that covers the mandible and the temporal bone not being as smooth as it should be. Ultimately, even the bones themselves can begin to degenerate, and what we end up with is a form of osteoarthritis, at the TMJ. One of the things that makes TMJ disorders so frustrating and so challenging both to live with and to treat is that, as you can imagine, the jaw is a real keystone for everything that comes in and that comes out of us. So It's the movement, the healthy movement of the jaw allows us to eat. It allows us to drink. The healthy movement of the jaw allows important things to get out of us, not just our air, but also our words, our thoughts, our expressions, our feelings. And when we can't move the jaw easily, we go very quickly from pain here to pain lots of places, to dysfunction in lots of distant places. And it all becomes very circular, where, dysfunction at the jaw changes the way the spine moves, and that twists the hips, and now we have knee pain, and then we turn our foot. The jaw is really a center point of our idea of the human body as one very interconnected whole. And one of the problems or challenges in TMJ treatment is we have this thought, okay, if we just fix, if the meniscus is torn and we fix the meniscus, then everything else will sort itself out, right? And that turns out very often not to be true. So a big challenge with TMJ disorder treatment is coming up with a treatment plan or a treatment strategy that really incorporates a holistic approach, a whole biopsychosocial approach that includes some realistic expectations of what the various treatment interventions are likely to do. A spider just came down right in front of me, so I got him taken care of. One of the really exciting things about massage therapy is that highly skilled intraoral work, working in the pterygoids inside the mouth, can yield huge responses with light touch for a very short amount of time. And those responses have great duration. So it's unlike a lot of things, if someone has a lot of knee pain and they come for massage, ultimately their knee pain may diminish, but it's probably not going to happen in one session. But I have seen multiple times people with clicking, with popping, with pain, with fear of movement of their jaw come and receive a highly skilled session, not necessarily from me, but receive some highly skilled massage therapy to the TMJ and particularly to the pterygoid muscles, and leave without those symptoms and have that improvement be long-term. It's not going to happen every single time, but it happens a lot. And that's unlike most other sort of pain issues that people come and see us with. And this is very exciting, but it's not something to fiddle around with. It's something that really requires great training. So if you're interested in doing this kind of work, you'll have some great, satisfying experiences ahead of you, but get the right kind of training, and then, be in touch. Tell me how it goes for you, and I will look forward to hearing from you all about it. Thanks.